you love me the way that you used to? Why don't you love me, baby? Why don't you love me the way you used to? Why don't you love me the way that you used to? Tell me your love has not disappeared. All that I have is a broken heart when your love disappears. broken heart when your love isn't here.